Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and we are going to do this little trifold today, and I think it's called a trifold when it folds three ways. I don't know. Anyway, this little pouch today, and it's a little pocket pouch. Now, I didn't cover the back side of mine because I'm going to glue this straight down into my journal, but if you're not going to glue it down into your journal, you can cover the back side and just capture your little string under that back side. But what we're going to use is one of these long envelopes that I got from one of you guys. I got a whole stack of them, and this one I had already folded in the middle for something else, but we're going to use it. It will be fine. Now Melina tied this bow for me. Look at that, how good. You know I'm not that great on tying bows. But this is the front, and these are the little enamel dots, or satin crystals, that you can get to go with the kit. Aren't those beautiful? I love this teal and that pink together. So pretty. And then this is the collection that we're using, and it's from Frank Garcia, and it's from Prima, and it's called With Love. And this is gorgeous. The way they did this little cluster is so pretty. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to cut that out and use it on something. And of course, you know I'll use these in there too. I'm going to flip through it real quick and let you see. There's the back side of that. It's got lots of different papers in here. And there's 4 or 5 of each design. Look at this. Look at all of that botanical, this little pin cushion, all of that. Now this was probably sold back in February, I guess is when it came out, because it's got some hearts on it, but you don't have to use it for Valentine paper. I mean, you can see I'm using mine now. It's so pretty. I don't think it's absolutely necessary that you use it for Valentine's Day. Love all these flowers. They could be fussy cut and you could use them. You could use this heart different places, this little streamer. And look at the back of these. Look at the teapots and all of that. Isn't that pretty? So, and then this one's got picture frames on the back. You could cut those out and even cut out the center if you wanted to put a picture or something in there. There, look at that. Look at that old car. I love that. And then there's that cameo that was showing in that cluster. Look at this. All of these are good. These are good for tags. I used tons of these in my little project here, and I'll show you. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You could cut out just these flowers, or you could cut out the hearts. Use all of those in your projects. And then here's the back side of this one. I'll open that up a little bit. Look at that rose. Isn't that pretty? That can be fussy cut and used. Here's another cameo with a, looks like a line in there. So it's got a lot of old vintage, looks like advertisements and things in here. Look at that. I love it, love it, love it. I start to say I like it, but I don't. I love it, love it. Okay, and then here's the back side of this one. Look at that. This is like an old ledger paper in the back, and then these flowers in the front. Isn't that gorgeous? And don't throw away these little branding strips, because you can use those. They can be used too. Look at the front. Look at that. All of these could be cut out for little ephemera pieces or little journaling cards. Lots of different things there. And then here's this one. And there's that. Isn't that pretty? Love all of this. That duck and all of this old Czech. It's a original Czech Pacific company, it says. And look at those birds. So it's a beautiful, beautiful paper, and we're going to use some of this. Now this is what I used on this one, and I'm going to open it up. I hate to untie that bow because I'll never get it tied back again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if it'll slide off. I'm cheating. You don't have to close it with anything if you don't want to, or you could close it with a magnet if you wanted to do that, or Velcro. I just thought that ribbon was pretty around it. And this is some of our baker's twine. And then this came out of the collection. This is just some of my string that I had. It's kind of that same color right there. And then this is some of the bling. And you open it up, And you've got a little pocket here that's got a tag in it. And then you have a pocket up here that has a tag in it. And I didn't put any toppers on these tags because I'm not sure if I want to. I may wait until I decide where I'm going to put them. And this tag wants to be aggravating because I think I almost glued that side together right there. So let me, there we go. I think I got it there. Okay, and then you have another little pocket here with a tag, and there's that duck. Is that a duck or a geese? I don't know. A geese maybe. Who knows what that is? Some kind of animal. And then there is that little piece. You could always back these and use them for journaling cards. I haven't backed any of them yet. And then there's a tag in each one of these. So there's a tag there and a tag here. So all three of those have tags. And then I fussy cut this, and there's a little tuck spot there that you could tuck a little bitty tag in or something, or one of those hearts, you could tuck it under there. I just used some of my vellum, printed on vellum. This is a vellum that I printed out from one of our digitals, I do believe. And then this is just one of those stickers, for the washi stickers that I get off of Amazon. I'll link those below if they're not already linked. And then this is a little tag from Tina on, Tracy Fox. This is a Tracy Fox tag. I don't know why I get Tina and Tracy so mixed up sometimes. Because I use both of their tags, I think is the reason, or their labels. And then when you fold it here, I just cut out that little postal card there, and I put that down for a tag, and then just put another piece in here out of the same collection. And then you just fold it up and you tie it back up. Now, like I said, on mine, I'm going to glue it straight down into the signature. Let me find a place. Let's just say I was going to put it find a spot here. Let's just say I was going to put it right here. I would glue it down, and I would glue just here, across here, and up through here, and have another tuck behind there. So I would put it there, and then it would close over. I'd have my string underneath there so that I could tie it closed. But that's how it would go in our journal right there. So now you can make this out of other paper if you don't want to use this paper. I just think it makes it really pretty, and it makes it really sturdy so that you can fill it up with all kinds of memorabilia. All right, let's get busy on this. Now, I'm going to set that one right there. Close my little journal up. This envelope is, and I'll tell you the size because I know I'll have lots of people who ask. And I will try to find these on Amazon and link them below. These are 11 inches by 4 3/4. So they are 11 by 4 3/4. Like I said, I'll try to find them and link them below. Now, I'm going to use my scoreboard because I have no idea if this is going to be hard to score or not, just by hand. You could always just fold it up like this and, keep moving it back and forth until you got it about right. But if you could have a scoreboard, just stick it in the scoreboard. So, all right, we're going to score first at 3 5/8, and I'm hoping that these measurements are right. And then I'm going to score at 7 3/8. Let's see if that works. 7 3/8. All right, just make sure that your folds are burnished really well, and just decide which way you want your top flap to fold. I like for mine to fold over this way. But if you wanted it to fold the other way, that's fine too. And I think that's going to work out real well. Right there. So 3 5/8 and 7 3/8 is your folds or your score lines. And that makes a nice fold. And don't worry about that where I folded in the center. I started to do another project with this envelope and ended up not, so we're going to do this one. All right, so you have your trifold, and I'm thinking that's what that's called, a trifold, since you're folding it that way, and you've got another fold in the middle. So there we go with that. And now we just need to decide what paper we want to use. Now for the center, I used just a full sheet to go all the way through, all the way across. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put it across your little score lines here, then you can just cut pieces that are this size here and leave your score lines open. I was a little bit distracted because I just put the top back on my Dr. Pepper and set it over on my desk, and it just shot off and shot in the floor. I don't know what happened. I must have built up some fizz in there that it didn't like. So let's see what we're going to use. I'm going to get another piece of paper. And let's see, what do we want to use in this one on the inside? Okay, I am actually going to use this one on the inside because I can come back with some of these colors and put my pockets and things on. So I'm going to use this. And what I do on here is, first off, we're going to glue this flap down. So go ahead. Come on, glue. I know I've got to refill you, but you've got enough in you to work for today. Now just don't go down too low because you don't want to close up your pocket there, because we're going to make these into pockets. So just glue that down. And now we're going to go ahead and cut just a little sliver off of the top in order to open that up. It's so funny, when I had my arm in the little Velcro cast, I don't know what you call it, and I was having to use my trimmer with my left hand. Now that I can use it with my right hand, it's hard for me to put it up here right. I want to put it the wrong way. I want to put it the left-handed way. So, alright. I'm just reinforcing my score lines again and making sure I've got that as straight as I can. We can always trim it a little bit if we need to. Now I moved my camera in just a little bit, so when I put the trimmer up here, you may not see the top and the bottom, but I wanted to move it in because you can see the paper better and see exactly what I'm doing a little bit better. Alright, we're just going to open that up, and I'm going to put glue all along here. Now when you get to these little folds right here, go ahead and put your glue pretty strong in the fold and up the side of the fold, because when you start to put your folds back in there, if you don't have a good amount of glue, your paper's going to try to bow a little bit. So just go ahead and fill them up. And as I always say, don't spare on your glue, because you want this to stay on there well and not have bows and buckles in it. So I try to put a nice amount of glue on there. Okay. Then you're just going to lay this down. Now you could go ahead and cut it if you wanted to, and then put it on here. But sometimes I find if I go ahead and cut, I might cut a little crooked, or I might press it down on here a little crooked. And that way I've got my paper crooked and some of my brown envelopes showing. So when I do it this way, I don't worry about it. Then I can just trim off the excess. Make sure that you burnish that down really well. Whoops. Alright. Now we're just going to trim that off. And here again, you could use your trimmer. I'm just going to go right up against that envelope there. And right down the side. Keep that little piece. That'll make a good little small tag. And then we'll keep those. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. There. All right. So now I'm going to let that dry before I go back and try to do my folding, because I can still see where my fold lines are, and it still wants to fold there anyway, but I'm going to let it dry just a little bit before we do that. So now I'm going to go ahead, this is going to be my front. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this with a paper, and I'm thinking that right there, that's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? But I'm going to cut the branding strip off of this, and that'll get me a little bit closer to see how I want to lay that down there. I think I want it like that. See how far it's going to come over. Oh yeah, this will be on the front. That'll be good. So we're going to lay that just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on here. I can see my score line, so I know exactly where to go. I'm not going to go all the way across this side though. That would make it way too thick if you're using this kind of paper. You see, if I could drive my glue straight, we'd be in business, wouldn't we? Okay, let's lay that down right there. Now what we're going to do is fold this over. I'm just going to fold it over easily. I'm not going to try to crease it too much. Just folding it over so I can cut this off. So there is the front. Isn't that going to be pretty? Okay. I think this is glued well enough that we can fold it over now. I'm just going to go like this right at my score lines and then fold that over, and then I'm going to slowly bring this one up while I'm rubbing my score line back in there, and then fold that one over. And there we go. We've got that. Cute. I'm going to trim a little bit more of this off now that I've got it to where it folds. Right there. I think everything else is okay. Alright, so there we've got the front, we've got the inside. And then I want to cover this with something. And I'm going to put a pocket on this. So keep in mind when you're going to put a pocket there that you don't want anything that's real, that you don't want to cover up. So let's see if we have some scrap here that we can use. I'm sure I do. No, I might use that for my pocket. That's cute. I don't want to cut my truck up though. Let's go this way. I think I may put this down here. See what that will look like. It goes well with that. Yeah, and then I'll use that little solid piece for my pocket over it, because then I won't cover everything up and I'll still have plenty of the flowers showing. So that's what I'm going to do there. So let's go ahead and put our glue on here. Now if you don't find it easy to do this like this, you can go ahead and just measure these pieces and cut your little pieces to put down. But to me, this is, I don't know, it works a lot better for my mind. I don't really like measuring that much. So let's put this down here. I think this paper pad is gorgeous. And you guys know, I've told you many times, I am not a pink person. But when it comes to all these old journals and things in the background, and then they're pulling in a little of that teal, and then you've got some green flowing through here, I love it. Just don't give me something that's solid pink. But the way that they put this collection together is very pretty. See, they even have in here, there's some purple or lavender, there's some yellow, all different colors in there. So you could put lots of different colors with this. Now, I will link this collection below. I'm not sure how many we have left in stock, but I'll link it below. I think we have pretty good stock of these. I'm not sure. I haven't looked today. but I'll link it below for you guys. All right. So that's the way it's going to fold right there. I like that because you have just a little bit of that one showing. That's pretty. Okay, make sure I don't need to trim little spots anywhere. I think that's got everything covered. Now on this one, I may clip this one in, so I might go ahead and cover the back on this. Let me grab some baker's twine and see what we've got. All right, let's see which one of these will go the best. I think that one might be. I think this one's going to work better. This one is light teal, but this one is got that green right there. So let's use a piece of this. And I'm going to cut off a pretty good sized piece there. Okay. I think Melina does have some of this listed in the store. I'm not sure how much, but she did list some of it. All right, and the reason I went ahead and cut my baker's twine is because we want to put that down before we put our back piece on, so that it'll just kind of hold it in place. All right, let's go ahead and cut our back piece, whatever we're going to put on here. And I may just use, no, I don't want to use that one. See, the problem is I don't want to use any of them because I want to use what's on the other side. I keep saying, no, I don't want to use that one. I want to use this. All right, let's see what we got here. I think that little wood grain might be big enough. Let's see. Almost. It's going to like a little bit. Let's go ahead then and just cut it out, and we'll use it, and I can ink the portion that it don't cover. Okay, first off I need to cut it straight. Yeah, there's going to be little places that it's not going to cover, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to cut it straight and then put it down, and we will just ink the rest. Okay. Like that. Oh, and good news, these are back in stock, so we should have these by probably the middle of next week, hopefully. Let's see, let's put it down that way. And I'm just going to kind of center it up, and then I will ink these side parts. That's fine with me right there. Excuse me, I'm going to mark where I'm going to trim this off. So what we're going to do is run a little bit of this glue, and I'm just going to run it right in the middle. This is the Fabri-Tac across there. And then you just need to press that down. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and put this on there. I think I can just use my regular glue for that. Now I'm just going to center it up between the two folds and then press it down, and that will work fine. Okay, so there's the back. Got our baker's twine under there. Press that down really good. So then we have baker's twine on this side, baker's twine on that side, and we're able to tie it. And yes, I cut a ton of it, but Melina was fussing at me a little bit ago because I didn't cut a big piece. She said, Mother, you cut so little I can't get my fingers in there. So I cut a big piece this time. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my pulls in here in these 3 pockets, and then I'll show you how we're going to glue those pockets together. And I'm just kind of guessing at the center. Okay, and then right here. So we've got our 3 little pockets, our little tabs cut out there. And then we're going to glue right down through there and glue these little pockets together. You could leave them open if you wanted. I just like mine glued, but I'm just going to put a little glue here at the top. I'm not going to run all the way down to the bottom because there's no need in doing that. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put some little pieces of paper down in the back here so that it'll cover that little opening up right there. And I'm just going to try to use some of these scraps that I have laying around here. Let's see. We could just use these branding strips to do that. Yeah, they'll work. And I'm going to cut mine off because if you don't, you're going to put extra bulk in your fold and then it's going to be aggravating for you. So all you're doing basically is covering up that little brown there. And we could have used where we punched it out, we could have used that part if you'd wanted to. But we're going to cover it a little bit more. Okay, there are 2 of those. Yeah, that'll work. They don't all have to be the same. Now, I am going to ink with Victorian Velvet. I think this collection just calls for this Victorian Velvet, and my ink pad is almost dry. I just had Melina to order more because we're out of the refills on this. But we're going to ink with that, and then I'm just going to put that down like that. Oh, I like that side too. I may put it down like that. So let's ink this side. I'm glad this paper has so many of the same paper in it because I like both sides of it. That way you can use one side for one thing and another side for the other. Look at that. This would make a gorgeous mini album. As my husband says sometimes, gorgeous. It would be very pretty. Okay. See, it's just a little bit easier to get these in there when you don't have these glued together, your pockets. So I like to put them down first and then glue my pockets. And all you're doing is lifting that up and you're just gluing this little piece down there and you're just making sure that you're not going over your fold. And you need to make sure that you get it right up to the edge of your paper there, or your envelope. See, we got it right to the edge. So then it covers that brown envelope. And you could do these without the envelope, I'm sure. It just makes it a little bit easier when you use the envelope because you've got something to kind of go by and to glue onto. But you could do it with just paper if you wanted to. That looks good. Like that. Cute. Now we're going to go around and we're going to ink all of this. Now, I'm going to cut out most of this because I know you guys know how to ink. And it takes me a little while since my ink pad is almost dry. So I'm going to go around and ink it, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this up. Now, I was going to show you how I was going to cover this brown. Just fold that over, and then I give that a really good inking. And you could put a piece on there that's a little bit wider than that, but see, that works. Oh, good news. I got our shirts ordered today. So all of you guys who was saying that you wanted a shirt, I've got those ordered, and they should be here really shortly because he usually doesn't take long to make the shirts and things. So they will be screen printed, and I'm excited. I can't wait to get them. All right, what are we going to put for little pockets here? I don't know which one I want. I'm thinking about that, but I think that's what I put on the other one. Let's see if we have something else that we want to use. We could cut these out and make little pockets out of them. That'd be pretty. But on this now, I do cut out the pockets because you don't want to run over that seam there or your score line. You don't want to run past that because it just puts too much bulk in there. So let's go ahead and cut this out. I'm going to even that piece up a little bit. Okay. And then let's see. Okay. Now we need to cut it this way. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be pretty. Or maybe this side. Oh, I like that better. This side is pretty, but the hearts match a little bit too much. This one actually has a heart on it, but it's way on down here, so I think I like that side better. So let's do that side. And then we'll mark this one. That's the right width. We just need to get the height. So we need to cut it right down through there. All right, and then one more. Yep, that's the right width. I like to just measure all of them because I don't always get them folded exactly right. Okay, so who all got the message yesterday about the May challenge? Did you get that message? Did you watch that video and get that message? Let me know if you did in the comments below. Let me know if you got the message. Because I didn't really explain a lot about it. I just wanted you guys to watch and then let me know if you understood exactly what we're talking about. So just tell me what you think is going to go on in May. Or it may not be exactly in the middle, but we're going to use it as a guide anyway. So then they'll all be off. And that way, even if it's not in the middle, it's going to look right, hopefully. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and ink around this. See, doesn't that Victorian velvet go beautifully with that? And this is not the oxide, this is just the regular Victorian velvet distress. Pretty, pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to put this one in the middle and these two on either end. And here we've got to drive our glue straight as possible. And that's a chore for me. Me and my shaky hand. Alright. Then you just want to put these kind of away from your score line as much as you can. Don't put it right up on the score line. That way you won't have as much resistance when you start to fold this. Someone told me the other day, in order to get your glue to go straighter and your scissors to go straighter, just look ahead of where you're gluing or look ahead of where you're cutting. Well, when I do that, it's even worse. If I try to look ahead, I really make a mess. Oh, and Happy Mail Day is tomorrow. So if you have sent me Happy Mail, be watching tomorrow, and I'm going to open up all the Happy Mail. I've got a ton of it, and I thank you guys very, very much. You do not have to send me anything, but I appreciate it. Oh, I was going to show you how I glue these down too, wasn't I? All I do is that little score line, and I just go about halfway down and run my glue up through there. Just a little bead of glue right up through that middle. Same thing over here, middle of that score line. And then I just press those down. And you kind of have to press them down and hold them there for a second. I usually run my bone folder in there and that makes it catch. And then you've got your separated little pockets. I'm not going to pull them apart because the glue's still drying, I'm sure. Alright, now we can put little tags in all of these. We've got all of our pockets done except this one. We do need to make the tag for that, or the little pocket for that. So let's see what we want to use. Nope. Let's find just some little, let's just do a little pink piece because this has got so much color in it. Just do a little pink one down here. And I need to come up about where I did those, so we'll cut it right there and then right there. Alright, let's trim this off. And this little project is almost finished. And see how, it takes no time at all. to make these. And you can make these out of old junk mail envelopes if you wanted to do that. I'm just using these brown ones because a whole pack was sent to me, and I'm just trying to come up with some different ways to use them because I love them. All right, let's put that right there. Gonna go ahead and punch our little pull in the top of it. Oh, and you guys, if you will, I know I've asked you many times before. I have Melina's YouTube link below. If you guys will go over and watch her videos and like them, I would appreciate it. She is only a few, maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 viewing hours away from being able to have her videos monetized. And you know, the monetization, YouTube pays us a little bit of money when people click on the ads and things. So the monetization will help her a lot. And if you would do that, if you'd go over and watch, you have to watch for a little while, you know, her videos. So just watch a few of her videos. That would be such a blessing for us, and I would appreciate it very, very much, and I know she would. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed to her channel, because that helps us out too. She is going to be designing for us. I know before she has designed for us, and she, you know, there's a couple of things that hindered her, and she had to stop because of some deaths that they had in their family, and her friend passing and that kind of thing. But she is back to designing, and she has some wonderful ideas, so you need to go over there and check those out. Now, what are we going to put in? That's too big. We're going to make some tags maybe to put in here. You know, we could just put these tags in. I mean, they're going to be just as good, aren't they? Look at that. That's cute. Now, I want to put a little something right here because that is a little bit too blank for me. And just cut that out and ink it. Let's just do that. I can't read and think at the same time. You guys know that. I have no clue why I'm trying to cut that out by hand when I know I'm going to get it crooked. Yeah, I think that will work. Let's see. What do we want to do? Let's see if just inking it is going to give us enough color. If not, we may want to back it with something. Maybe this will give us enough color there. And we could always double ink it if we need to. Okay, let's go over the very edges with this brown. This is Vintage Photo. And I'm just going into the edge. I'm not going up on the paper like I did with the other. That's double inking. And then we can put that down there. Yeah, that works. And you could also make this a little tiny tuck pocket too. Let's just do that. All right, now let's find that little piece that I had just a minute ago that I said would make some pretty tags. And see, that could go in right there. You can make 2 or 3 little tags out of that. That's cute. We might do that a little bit later. Now, in here, you can make your tags, but I'm just going to grab these that I already have done. And I'm going to put those down in there, maybe. There's one. There's one. And these are just cut straight out of the paper collection. I didn't have to do anything but trim them out. All right, and then we can put our tags in up here. That envelope just makes it, I don't know, more sturdy, more stable. And then this one. And I love that little bit of botanical that's in this collection. You know, we all like that botanical look. Okay, so there are our tags and things in. Now we could put something here. This collection really doesn't have any words in it that I have seen, other than just, you know, some of the writing that's on some of these. But we could grab some labels and things that we've got in our stash and put on there if we need to. Oh, that would look good right there. That says botany. This one says fern. I don't think any of those are ferns, so we might just use botany there. Let's see. Let's go over here and look at a few of these. We could put, what could we put on there? We could put this little one here. This would go good, I think. And this is kind of a dark pink outline. Let's do that. Trim this one out. These are from Tracy Fox, Love Junk Journals on Etsy. And these are just her labels. I think it says more labels or more random labels, something to that effect. Put that right to there. And I think that might be all we do on the inside. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of ink on this. And I know this is kind of a big label, but I think it'll be okay. I like the brown with the brown up there, so that'll work, I do believe. There we go. And then this one we'll put down over here. I don't know which side. Let's see. I'm leaning more toward this side, so let's put it down right there. All right, and then I have one of our words. It just says cherish, and I'm not sure. I don't think I want another one in there. I think we might just put it on the outside. Let me think. Where would I want it if I wanted it? So let's look at one of these and see if there's anything that we might want to put behind that. Just maybe a little butterfly or something. These are our labels. These are they're called washi labels, but to me they're not washi. They're like vellum. Ooh, a bird would be pretty, but I don't think I have a small enough bird right here that needs. I've got some that need to be cut, but not any that are cut. Let's see about that butterfly. Nope, that's too big. Okay, what do you think about that? I know that doesn't have, I mean, it has some green in it. I don't want to overpower it. All right, I'm going to look at that a while, and then we're going to look at some more butterflies in here. Let's see if we got some small butterflies. Need some little babies. Well, there's a tiny one, but it's not the right color. Right, I think I have come up with what I'm going to put on there. We'll see. We'll see if this works. I like that cherish. Now that I've got it inked a little bit. And then I like this. Once it gets put down, it's going to look like it's part of the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the backing off. I can find my little tool. Okay. Oh, don't stick, don't stick. There we go. This is just going to give it a little bit more green on here, and then I'll trim off anything that's hangs over. See, it just kind of blends in once you trim that. I mean, once you take that backing off and lay it down, it just kind of blends in. And that's what we want. We want it to look like it's supposed to be there. Trim those little pieces off. Okay, and then I cut this little butterfly out, and this is out of the free digitals that I sent to all the people who support our YouTube through Buy Me a Coffee. That link is below if you want to check that out. They get 2 free digitals a month, and this little butterfly was in one of those. So I think I'm going to put him maybe down here. He's got kind of a teal in him and that pink. So he's not necessarily the exact color, but he'll work. he will look. Okay, I'm going to put him here, just flying into those flowers. Get him a drink. And then this, I thought about putting it there, there, over there. Thinking about putting it right there and just let it go over that greenery just a little bit to help tie it in a little bit more. Hold it up and make sure I get it somewhere near straight. That works right there. And then that is it. Now we can put a couple little pieces of bling right there. So let's see what we have. I don't know if any of this bling is going to be small enough to put on there, but it won't be small enough to put on the butterfly, but we could use some on there. Let's try this little one here. No, I don't want to put that one on. It's going to clash. Let's put this one on, and let's just do it over. All right, let's put one of these little bitties on. Put it right there. And then we'll put one of these right there. And then maybe one of these little ones down here. That works. Then right here, you know what I want to put. Let me grab my black thing here. And I think 2 of them is all that that little baby butterfly is going to hold. Oh, we do have more of the Sugarbelle tops in. I know I had quite a few questions about those. They just came in today. So if you want some of those, you need to grab them quick because you know, as well as I do, they will not last long. All right, now let's tie this up. Now my bow, I don't tie bows as well as Melina does, but we shall see. Let's put the bow over on this side so it won't cover up our cherish there. All right, there we go. Got a bow there. And let me cut off a lot of this because I can use that elsewhere. And there's our little bows. So there is that one. I think they're super cute. And like I said, they don't take that long to make at all. And let's see if we can slide this back on without having to untie that bow. I don't know. We might. Look, we did it. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. So we have both of these complete, and isn't that cute? Now they're ready to go in my journals, and one of them I'm going to be putting in the AJ journal, and then the other I'll put in a journal that's coming up soon. Look at that. Did you see how that just turned around there on me? There we go. Okay. All right, guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.